right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the Red Corner. We have the whole gang here, Slim Bones, and I am Devo. Boys, we're about a month or so away from the winter meetings, but right now, as we speak right now, we got the GMs and, the presidents of baseball operations, et cetera, out in Las Vegas for the GM meetings. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to be the GMs. We're going to run through free agents, targets, who we're thinking we're going to bring in, who we're thinking we're not going to bring in. We're going to talk some trade rumors. We're going to talk about it all. But, gentlemen, before we get too crazy here, how we doing, Slim? What's going on, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. And it feels like it's been a long time since we last linked up. And, of course, I was checking out a couple movies here. I watched a legendary one, James Cameron's Titanic, right? And there's a real-life couple that appears in the movie, and they are symbolic of a Philadelphia department store. All right, so here's the question. Let me give you this question straight. I'll give it to you Jeopardy style, so it's very clear.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of references in this one. This real-life family appears in the Titanic, co-founded a Philadelphia department store that later became part of Macy's, and is often confused with the Bavarian immigrant who helped invent the blue jeans. They have a famous last name. What's the last name?
I know this. I know this. Do you know
What's
it,
the
Bones?
last name?
Strawbridges.
Oh, close. No.
It's not Strawbridges?
No, but close.
Okay.
The blue jean immigrants to be a big hint there, but it's not. I actually go ahead. You gotta guess, Bones.
Macy's?
No.
Oh, I know it, man. Is it Lord and Taylor?
No. So Lord and Taylor became Strauss Levi blue jeans. There's another New York businessman with the last name Strauss, Isidore, and his wife Ida. They were on the Titanic. They actually went in business with Macy's. Okay, so there's two famous Strauss families. They did perish on the Titanic. So the answer I was looking for is Strauss, but not the Levi blue jean Strauss.
Oh, that's a fun one. I'm pretty sure the Strawbridge family was a Philadelphia family. I think there are estates out in the main line. I could be wrong on that. I'm right on that, right? Is it the Strawbridges?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of connections there as well. And it's funny, this Strauss family, some of their descendants were actually married to people that were on the that Ocean Gate catastrophe a couple years ago.
Oh, that's a weird connection. Coincidence?
Yeah, it was one of those things. I looked it up, and I just got getting
they were going to the Titanic, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a
mind.
Yeah.
Do they have connection with the logo on the World Series batting helmets? Strauss?
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a different one. They spell their last names different. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I had to stop checking out. We were going live.
That's another goodie there, Slim.
So for me tonight, I'm just gonna because we're getting into free agent things, and we had two awards come up in the last two nights, and that was the manager award in the both leagues, and the Cy Young was today. Paul Skeens ran away with the Cy Young. 30, it was unanimous.
Yeah.
And Christopher Sanchez was unanimous second.
We'll take it.
Rob Thompson was third. He had one first place vote.
So we were off on that, man.
Yeah. And I can't believe that Pat Murphy got that many. Like, he kind of ran away with it.
Yeah, he did.
27 first place votes. I thought Tito would have been closer, considering the Brewers were the favorite in that division.
Do we ever see upsets in these things anymore? Once the narratives take hold, it seems like they don't change. Yeah, I think Sanchez was very deserving of a Cy Young, and I think he has one coming up soon. That's a joke to give. The skiing thing, it just stinks that he's on a terrible team. It's not fun.
Yeah, no, you're right. The especially with managers, I feel like that it's so narrative driven. All right, so I actually have a little story for you guys before we start talking business. So, my mom just recently went, and this is baseball related, to an estate sale. Are you guys familiar with these things? You're right. So my mom loves these things. So she went to an estate sale. And she calls me during the estate sale, and she says, Devin, I got this baseball here signed by this guy. Would this be of interest to you? I said, all right, well, what's his name? She said, Willie. I said, Willie who? She said, Willie Mays? No, she said,
Nah.
Willie Mays. She's like, yes. She has no idea who he is. So she said they were asking $125 for it. I said, we'll take it. So I either have a fake Willie Mays signed ball or I got to figure out how to get it authenticated or something. But yeah, apparently my mom found a Willie Mays signed ball for $125. So we'll see. And RIP Willie.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's like the. Go ahead, Chris.
We must have Red Riders out in the community that can help you get that done.
Yes, we got. If someone got to let me know how to get that authenticated, because yeah, I mean Willie Mays, he's the GOAT on most lists.
So this is a story straight out of the Sandlot,
Yes, because she had no idea who he was.
and he had no idea who Babe Ruth was.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe it does continue into the Sandlot story where someone lost the ball originally signed by Willie Mays, and then he went and signed it himself and
Yeah,
put it back.
that would be hilarious. But I'm
If I ever
listening. I'm
if I
cynical.
ever have an estate sale, I'm going to let my children know, whoever's here after me, to make sure they autograph a bunch of random stuff with famous people's last names just to get it out.
This sucker like me,
Just to get it
because I'm just
out.
gonna.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of people that are just gonna roll the dice. Like, yeah, I'll take a
this
chance
is
on this being Willie Mays signed ball. I mean, he just passed away. There's not gonna be any more signed balls by Willie Mays. So,
this
all
is
right,
the Da
boys.
Vinci cupboard.
Do you have it with you?
I don't. I did verify that it looks just like his signature. So that much I did do that much due diligence. But obviously, any good artist can.
You juxtapose it with your iPhone in 4K.
Yeah. No, just the 1080p. We learned all about that.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. So before we transition to talking some business, Slim, we got some other business to talk here. Take it away, baby.
My favorite website and the only website you need anymore is the redcornerpod.com, the redcornerpod.com. And they got some great items. They got the t-shirt, the Run It Back Forever, which, we got to bring back Schwarber. We got to bring back Realmuto. Harper's going nowhere. We got the rocking hats that both both Devo and Bones are rocking. We had the hoodies, and the hottest item right now has to be the quarter zip. And you can't forget, if you don't want some Red Corner stuff, you want something a little bit more charitable, something a little bit with a little bit more meaning, you can grab a Stop the Stigma t-shirt. All proceeds go to the Pink Elephant Movement.
Love it. All right, the redcornerpod.com. Jump on over to our website if you want to. Holidays are coming up. So jump on over, and you could also probably jump right in our YouTube page there. Boys, let's get back here, and let's talk some free agent and trade rumors, trade strategy, everything. So here at the Red Corner, we like to be very methodical, right? We like to build it up a little bit. So now we got the GM meetings going on right now, boys. So let's just go one by one. We're going to start with the Phillies free agents, with the big ones, of course. And I want to know if you think we're getting them back, and if you want to take a stab at a salary, I love to hear that as well. Bones, I want to start with you. Kyle Schwarber, are we bringing him back? This is the final answer, boys.
Yeah, I think Kyle Schwarber's coming back,
Okay.
and I think it's going to be somewhere in between that 4 to 5 range. I'm going to go with 4 years, but they're going to elevate the money. They're going to give him $150 million.
That's
so they
a
don't
lot.
have to.
Wait,
It's
4 years?
a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Originally, I was on the 4 years, 130, but so they don't have to give them that 5th year, keep them around longer. Throw in the bone, give them a couple bucks more, just to eliminate that 5th year.
Okay.
I think Schwarber is coming back. I think it might be closer to that 5 years. I kind of disagree with Bones on the numbers there, because the Phillies right now seem to be trying to make a statement that they're willing to spend money, but they're only going to spend smart money. It's not going to be the stupid money like we heard previously. And I think going 4 years for a few extra bucks might be leaning towards the just money's going to solve our problems than trying to be smart about it. I'm still all in on Schwarber. I don't think the market's going to be as crazy because now it seems like it's settling down. I know I went live, said 150. It might not even get to that. I think we can get them for about 30 million, right? 5 years, 30 million, exactly 150. I think that is plenty, plenty.
All right, so Bones, you're then at like what's that, like 38, 37 million or so. Yeah, I mean, listen, nothing would surprise me in this market. No one expected Juan Soto to get the deal that he got.
Because you don't want to, because at some point the Phillies are going to bring up the points you always bring up, Devo. You don't play the field, right?
Right.
And we're trying to lean into defense and flexibility, and you're not that. So they will play hardball. Of course, he'll play hardball back. At the end of the day, I think that's the number we land on.
Okay. And I'm going to say yes, he's coming back at 4 years, 32 million AAV. So I think he's going to be a little bit north of that 30. So I'm right in the middle there with you and Bones. Let's keep it moving here, boys. So there we go. So we all think Schwarber's officially coming back. That's our official. We can't change it now. JT Realmuto. Slim, let's start with you here, brother.
Oh, JT Realmuto, he has to come back. He is officially coming back. There's no doubt about it. The Phillies could have probably got him for 2 years. 22, $24 million if they would have did this in April. Now they're probably going to pay a luxury of 1 more year. All right. And the numbers I'm hearing are some people are even floating around 3 years, 40 million. I don't think it's going to get that high, but I do think it's going to be 3 years right below it around that 36, 38 number.
Yeah, and I'm right with you. They're going to have to give that extra year. We talked about it earlier in the year. You were big on that, about giving him the deal just in case he had a good year. And he did have a good year, and he had a solid playoffs. So I'm going with 3 years, 33.
Okay, good.
That's a good number.
If it gets to 40, you got to let him walk, right? You can't pay him $14 million.
40, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I really wouldn't. So you got to look at it from where JT is. Right now, he's going to be taking a pay cut regardless, right? So if he's starting at 20, they then have to argue with him as to how much less he's worth, which is never a fun thing to do for either party. So are they going to say you're worth $8 million less every year based upon what you did last year? I think that's a tough sell. I really do. From a percentage standpoint, that's a huge swing. So I think if JT can do a 2-year deal, I think that AAV might be a lot higher than what you think. If they said 2 years 30, you wouldn't say yes? 2 years 32, would you say yes?
Yeah,
I would.
2 years 32 is a lot. I think that becomes a conversation.
What's the conversation? You're saying no because I mean he's still a top 10 catcher in baseball?
Well, the conversation is all right. So 2 years, 30 million is a little bit different than 3 years, 40 million, even though the APV or whatever might be a little bit less. So I might be willing to do it for 2 years at 15 million. I'm not sure if I'll do 3 years pushing 14 million.
But you get my point, right? Like if I'm JT and the year prior I'm making 20, and then you're saying I'm half the player. I'm not half the player that I am. And I know that's not an exact way of looking at it, right? Because he signed the deal 5 years ago. But that's still the type of stuff that they're going to be talking about. His deal is going to be interesting, and we've talked about it a lot. He's going to have some suitors. What are you going to say, Bones?
So one thing to look at is not this year, not the first year of these contracts, but the second year of these contracts. They could be like dummy years on the contracts because of the pending strike.
Good point. Yeah.
Like, there's legit probably going to be a strike to start the year next year.
Basically, year 2 of the contract would be in 2028.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. And then to your point, now you're getting a 37-year-old JT in year 2 of the contract. So it's an important factor.
Yeah.
Speaking of important factors and gifts, Slim, let's start off with Harrison Bader here. There's why don't you present the background on what's been going on with him right now?
So what's going on with Harrison Bader is beginning of last year, the Phillies needed a center fielder, a two-way center fielder. We finally got the gift mid-season last year. He comes on. He's all we could ask for. He's putting up career numbers. He's making catches at the wall. He's sliding, making catches. He's rocking homers. He's stealing bases. And now it seems like we're going to go back to what was on the back of the baseball card and let him walk. He posted on Instagram today that it was a good time. It was fun while it was lasted this year. It ended too short this year. I know some reporters are saying it's not 100%. He's
Right.
finally gone,
Right.
but it certainly seems like he's not coming back here. I didn't read that in any way besides a goodbye.
Okay, so you're saying full goodbye. You don't think we're
Full
bringing him
goodbye.
back?
And I was a Bader dude. Now I mean, I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's a full goodbye. It's just, it is what it is. Maybe it was just like a spark for the second half of the year that he had with the Phillies. So he'll be a trade candidate next year wherever he goes.
I'm curious. I'll be keeping an eye on the numbers he gets. I'll be rooting for the guy as long as he doesn't go back to the Mets or something. I'll be rooting for him.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all in agreement there. No Bader, and I actually don't want Bader back, to be honest. He feels like a Band-Aid. I want a guy there.
I would say his numbers should be kind of close to what Realmuto gets. Right? I think even though he's younger, I think Bader love a 3-year deal, if you could find one for a little bit less money. But I think besides that, he's probably floating around 13 million too, right? 13.
Yeah.
And if it gets crazy, maybe it hits 15 for him, which, like I said, the Phillies just can't do because, like you said, he's not the guy.
Right. All right, so final Phillies player here, and then we're going to transition to outside players. Ranger Suarez. This should be an interesting one. I think we're going to have a split panel. Let's start with you on this one, Bones. Are we bringing Ranger Suarez back?
I don't think we're bringing Ranger Suarez back. I think he's heading to the Houston Astros.
Oh, I could see that.
They need to fill a void for Framber Valdez, who we'll get into later.
Yeah.
Where I think he's going to go, but they need to fill that void to go with, was it Hunter Brown is their pitcher there?
Yep.
Going to be probably the new ace. Yeah, that would be the guy. That's where Ranger Suarez is going.
I think we're bringing him back. I think we're going to give him about 4 years, anywhere 4 to 5 years, 25 million a year. So 100 to 125 million, full send. I'm willing to invest $55 million in Schwarber, Ranger, bring both those guys back. I'm looking at the pitching market, and like you said, there's other people there. I think Suarez is as good as any of them, and I think compared to his price, he's priced higher than a lot of names. He's cheaper than the name you mentioned from Houston, who's leaving. Houston's letting him leave. This is a telltale sign that we should bring our boy Ranger Suarez back. And on top of that, his just a complete endorsement is his flexibility, right? If we're in a game 6, a game 7 in the NLCS versus the Dodgers, we know this dude can come out the bullpen.
So, Slim, do you think that there's any argument in if people making the smart baseball play would be to keep Luzardo on his team-friendly deal, see what he does the next year, maybe extend him? Then you're getting a younger Ranger for probably cheaper right before. Because if we don't let Luzardo reach free agency, we're most certainly he would make less than what Ranger would make right now, right? You would think.
100%. He has to.
So do you think that there's an argument to be had to what the Phillies are in mind or thinking, all right, let Ranger go test the water. We have our future Ranger that can actually throw harder in Luzardo.
Yeah, so the argument is how much it's all risk to me. The Luzardo thing's a huge gamble to where I think I'll pay for the safety of Suarez, and I don't think it's an argument. So one, I think it's a much bigger risk. That's why he's a cheaper price. The second thing would be the pitching depth in general. We're going to need pitchers besides Luzardo, 4, 5, 6 deep going into 26, 27, and 28. So it might be Sanchez, Suarez, maybe Luzardo. Sounds a lot more comfortable to me because we would have 42 million coming off the books in 2 years anyway with Wheeler.
No, that's true. I guess the point is we saw what the Phillies did with Christopher Sanchez, right? And have you guys seen enough right now? I know this isn't an extend Jesus Luzardo podcast today, but have you seen enough right now to extend him? Because we're going to
No.
win that deal most likely. You're saying
Ye-
no. What do you think, Bones?
I think so, but I don't think it's going to be like a team friendly deal as
Oh,
Sanchez
no,
got.
no chance. No.
No, but no, he's gonna. I think they could do that. Just and I think they will
Yeah.
because they're gonna need another lefty
Right.
besides Sanchez going forward. They don't have any in the minor league system,
Right.
and they're not going to want to go out to that market because starting pitching market gets pretty deep into the dollars and cents here. We can look at Aaron with that one,
Yeah.
and they don't want to go into that fishing.
I'm sorry, Slim. I know you wanted to say something there, Gad.
No, the last point I would make is it all sounds fine and dandy until he's injured and he doesn't play all summer. And then it's like, what? So I much rather use them and get rid of them. If we can get 2 amazing years out of them, that to me is quitting while you're ahead on Luzardo.
Yeah, because your argument basically is saying that you're just not a believer long term. That's the
Right.
only thing that you could be right.
Basically.
That could be the only stance you're saying. I'm more thinking like, okay, he's looking at whatever Framber gets. He's looking at whatever Suarez gets. If I'm Luzardo, I'm going to think I'm going to get that or more, right? So then the argument, the Phillies could say, well, hold on here. You could take that risk of the next however many years, year and a half. You get hurt, you're not going to get that offer. We'll give you 5 years, $100 million right now, right? I'm just making a number up. It would be more than that, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's actually transition here. We'll talk more about that as the offseason progresses. Let's transition to the actual free agents, non-Phillies players. So we agreed with a tier 1 before the show started. So we're going to talk about the tier 1 free agents, the biggest names out there. We're going to go one by one and tackle these. Gentlemen, let's start off with the belle of the ball, Kyle Tucker. Let's start with you on this one, Slim.
To me, I think with Tucker, like you said, you guys worry about Luzardo potentially getting in a bidding war. Tucker's now in that bidding war. It's a bidding war I don't think the Phillies want to be in. Any time and energy spent on Tucker, it might be time divested versus the guys we can actually go inquire. So I am out on Kyle Tucker, and I also didn't like the way he ended his season.
Yeah, I'm out on Kyle Tucker. I don't think they're going to be able to top what the Dodgers are going to give them. Maybe like how Devin talked about in the video the other day, where for some reason we don't re-sign Kyle Schwarber. Maybe they go into that to look for a left-handed bat to replace him. But other than that, I see Kyle Schwarber coming back, so I don't see them going at Tucker.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with that one, boys. I mean, I don't know if any other teams in the league have like 3 players with 11-year deals on it, but that's what we would take, right? Because Tucker's probably getting that 10 to 12-year deal out there. I don't see the Phils going and extending another guy out to that long right now. So for that reason, unfortunately, I don't think we're getting Tucker. All right, next name. This one, you're hearing a little bit more rumors tied to him. Alex Bregman, third baseman. Let's start with you again here, Slim.
I am out on Bregman. One reason being is I think we're going to allocate our money, like I said, to signing our 2 horses, Suarez and Schwarber. If you bring in Bregman, I must admit he is a fit. That fit, though, is in 2 ways. Are you going to if you bring him in, he can be a fit at third base or second base, but then you got to move somebody else.
Right.
All right. And that's going to be a theme with a lot of these guys. So, in my opinion, it's not worth it for Bregman due to age. Yeah, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to sign him. Ruben Amaro talked about it the other day. He's like big on signing him because he's a winner. I consider him a cheater. But yeah, I don't think they're going to sign him, and I don't want them to sign him because he does get injured a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we just don't need that.
No. And
Not for the
also,
money he's going to want.
not for the money he's going to want. He does give you a little bit of defensive versatility with third and second, right? So I do like that aspect. But, right, for the money and the years, the bigger thing is the years. And we're going to
But
talk more about that. Get Slim.
has he played much second? Like, I'm sitting here trying to envision him turning double plays, and I don't see his body doing it. And I know when he went to Boston, it was, they
That's where
traded Devers.
that's where I'm pulling it from.
And I know, and it's hilarious because I'm not a Red Sox fan. They can do whatever they want. I'm worrying about the Phillies. But I would love to see the Red Sox lose Devers and Bregman back to back little off seasons, not off seasons, because it was in season, but it's like, holy heck, what a fumble.
Yeah. I mean, I would say there's like a 75% chance that he's not staying there.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
I think he's going to go to Detroit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, he was hot and heavy on them this year, right?
last year or when he signed with the
Yeah, so that was
because
their
of
second one.
AJ Hinch being
Right.
there,
Right.
and
Yes,
so
that
that
would
might
be
be
cool.
the veteran presence they need there.
That would be a cool fit there. I could see that for sure. Good call. All right, next one we have Bo Bichette.
Not going to sign him.
Okay.
You're not going to want to hear where he's going to go, but it's not going to be somewhere where we look.
Mets.
Atlanta.
Oh, you think Atlanta gets him?
I'm thinking
Okay.
he's going to Atlanta.
And will they plug him where? Second?
Second or short.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, I'm all for it. Let Atlanta have him. I think Atlanta's an organization that's on the decline this century. And I think Bo Pichette's money in years, we're talking what? How much is this dude going to want? He's going to want a ton of money. So I'm thinking 4 or 5 years. I look at him and he kind of reminds me of Turner, so I don't want to get back in that position where we have a dude at shortstop who may not be the best there.
Which is interesting because we have a lot of Red Riders that are near and dear to us that have been high on Bo. I think the problem with Bo is, and Slim, you hit the nail on the head there. It's if someone said to you, "I'll give you 4 years of him," you might go, "Oh yeah, that's not bad." But they're tossing around 8-year deals for him, right? So it's like, do I want to be tied in for 8 years? I don't. He's not the same player that. He's not the same athlete that Turner is. And I know you're not saying the exact player, but like Turner, everyone was fine. You knew he was going to get the biggest deal with Turner, right? He was the top shortstop of that free agency. Which had a ton of them that year. But all right, so the final tier 1 guy, Cody Bellinger. What do you got, Bones?
Nah, I don't want him. I don't think they're going to sign him.
Okay.
He's like the epitome of what this Phillies roster is. Left-handed bat, goes up, swings at anything. Once he gets in a funk, he's in a funk. And I don't want him nowhere near this team. Hopefully he goes back to the Yankees where he's going to go. That's where I think he's going to go.
That's where he belongs.
Yep.
I do not think we're going to sign Cody Bellinger. I do think he's a good fit here. And if we're not going to sign a big-time outfielder, right, because we don't have Bader, we're letting him walk.
Yeah, so like let's just kind of do a little quick recap here before we so outside of Schwarber, who no doubt is a tier 1 free agent here, right? But obviously he's an in-house guy. So all the external tier 1 free agents, we just said no. We don't think we're getting them. So obviously there's other ways to get players, trades, and we can get some other more tier 2 guys. There's a lot of other good guys out there. So let's talk about that, boys. What do you think will be the avenue that we attract the outfielder like that, Slim? Do you think we're going to sign a guy or trade a guy?
I think the best market to acquire good contracts, right, and good talent is the trade market. All
It
right.
is.
We kind of saw that last year. And I think we can maybe accelerate it and use the trade market now during the off season, not just in season. Who's the guy we talked about last trade deadline? Bruxton over with Minnesota. They're
Yeah.
saying he's going to potentially waive his no trade clause. It makes perfect sense. He seems like a personality that would fit here. I believe his deal, he's locked up for a few years, and it's like I think it's less than 20 million, close to like $15 million.
He's got one of the best deals in baseball.
Right. So
Yeah.
if you could lump in a bunch of prospects, include maybe a Stott or a Bone, pick or choose at that point, I guess. I would like to keep Bone obviously over Stott. Include Stott, include a bunch of prospects, full send.
Yeah, and that was one of the names I was thinking of, and we talked about them. These other ones at the trade deadline last year, Tyler Ward, Joe Adell, both from the Angels.
Yep.
They could be potential guys to look at there. But I think if they do go for outfield help, it's going to be a right-handed bat, just because during the press conference. I don't know if it was Dombrowski or Thompson. They mentioned how the Phillies lineup was definitely left-handed heavy,
Well,
and it
that's
sounded
for
like they
sure.
wanted to get away from that.
Yeah.
So they want some like right-handed pop in there.
The Phillies haven't had a right-handed hitter hit over 35 homers since who?
A right-handed hitter hit over 35 homers since who? Uh, Franco.
No.
I'm stumped.
Jason Worth.
I was going to say
Jason
Jason.
Worth.
So, okay. So the point being there, Bruxton. That would be and while you were talking, Slim, I looked it up. He's a free
Buxton.
agent. What?
Buxton.
Buxton.
Byron Bruxton.
Buxton.
Byron
No R.
Buxton.
No R. No Bruxton.
Byron Buxton.
Yeah.
We're good.
Say that
I
one
said
5 times fast.
You got
Byron
me last
Buxton.
week. You ain't get me this week.
Yeah, no, true. On your A game, Bones always jumps down their throat for mispronunciations. That's why he gets paid the second highest salary on this panel here. All right, so let's keep it moving here. Speaking of Byron Buxton, he's a free agent in 2029. Slim, as you were talking, I looked that up. So, what do you think that would cost? Because you said boom. I mean, that's got to be like Painter or Miller, right?
Right. So I think you try to throw Stott, you try to throw Nori, you try to throw Crawford, right? And maybe Escobar. Do those three and Stott. And you try to hold on to Painter and Miller.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on to them. And like Chris said, that was one of the names I was thinking. Dante Nori, the other guy, Griffin Buckholder.
But this
And
becomes
then like MLB, like guys that have a couple years left. I don't know if they're going to go that. Like they probably want to go younger. They don't care about maybe not like a Bryson Stott or a Bohm, because they're not going to go after. They want to go younger than that.
Right.
now the question becomes though, if you can't sell them on the non-Painter and Miller prospects, are you willing to? Obviously, you'll be able to keep a couple of those prospects. It's not going to be we're adding everybody, but would you go? Let's say the deal is just Stott and Miller.
Would I do that for Buxton?
Yes.
Yes. I would.
Bones.
No.
I will go yes, because it addresses the outfield situation, which it looks like Miller might even have to play the outfield. And then we can also get off of Stott. The problem becomes, I guess we have Sosa still at second base, so it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, when Buxton's healthy, he was an MVP candidate, right? Like the guy's really good. He's only 30. He's a five-tool player. I mean, he's exactly what we hope Miller becomes close to, right? So I would say yes.
But that's the thing,
Yeah,
though. He was healthy. This was probably the healthiest he's been in 6 years.
And the other counter on him is he hasn't ever played a lot of meaningful baseball, too, right? Which is a real thing. So
And
yeah,
they had
but
a couple years
they
in the
did. Yeah, they
playoffs.
did. They did.
to where you want to pay a guy like Bellinger $25 million, I had no interest.
Right.
He might be able to sign more guys. These pitchers are crazy. These pitching numbers are crazy, though. I mean, the Phillies might. It's
All right.
unreal.
All right. So Buxton, do you think that's going to? Obviously, we're all speculating here, but it doesn't sound like we're like super confident that's going to happen. Who else are we getting, boys? I'm going to throw a name at you and let me know. I'm going to go back to the free agent. Suarez, Eugenio Suarez. What do you think of that?
I'd be down for it.
Yeah, I'm out on Suarez. I am out on Suarez.
Tell me why.
So when you talk to people who are little naysayers, just as a tidbit on Schwarber, they often bring up his home run numbers and then bring up his batting average. Like the first year we got him, he batted like 210 or something or 200 and had the homers. That's who Suarez is. So when he's not hitting when he's not hitting homers, there's just nothing there. And then I'm not sure how that's going to age here in Philly. So I'm out on Suarez. Then
So let me counter that really quick. So everything you said is obviously accurate. I wish you got on base a little bit more, but a guy that can hit 45 home runs, placing him behind Harper, what do you think that does to him? Because that's what I like about him. When Harper's up to base and the pitcher is facing up to bat rather, and the pitcher's facing him, and he knows he got a right-handed batter after him that's got top 5 power in the league. What does that do for Harper?
yeah, it's great for Harper to have a power bat behind him. I'm not sold on the player and the production being as high.
Okay.
To me, I mean, what's the back of his baseball card look like? You know, enlighten me, because it seems like this dude came on really, really hot this year, especially. Got traded, cooled down a little bit, had a couple of big home runs, but for the most part, his at bats were kind of left you hanging.
Bones, I want to hear where you're at on this because you're usually a little bit more sober-minded with this stuff.
I'm in on this
Okay.
guy. And to your point, it's somebody that we have that can protect Harper. And if they want to not throw to Harper, this guy has 8 career grand slams on his plate.
That's a nice
And
nugget.
if this is like a first inning, these guys get on, and then we're looking at this guy to put one out.
Right.
We can do it. I think his first home run with the Mariners this year was a salami. Took him a while to get there, but
Yeah,
And he's not a perfect player. You're right, Slim.
Yeah, and like you said, all right, let's say they intentionally walk Harper, and then we're watching at bat where Suarez is whiffing them 3 straight pitches. I kind of see more of that than I'll see glorious home runs because he's protecting Harper per se.
Right, but he's literally a guy that can hit like 25 more homers than Bohm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like literally, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
he could be the guy that the Phillies wanted Boone to be when they drafted him.
Right.
Or somewhat close to it.
Well, you think his
Some
defense is there with Bone's defense, Adam? Because I don't think so.
He's not a stud on defense, that's for sure.
And we're trying to get away from that, right? Aren't we trying to get – because the other guy – that's why with all these second baseman types, Bregman, Bichette, I'll even throw in Torres, right? I love to have them, but then we're sacrificing defense big time because we're not moving – bringing in Bichette, bringing in Torres, bringing in Bregman, doesn't move Turner off his spot.
Right.
So now you can't have a weak-ish, inconsistent-ish, maybe not top 3 in the league-ish shortstop and second baseman. I don't mean no disrespect to anybody, but you just can't have it. That's where I get these issues. And now Suarez, I know he's playing third base, but same thing. I don't want to keep extending our defensive liabilities here.
Yeah, but the problem is the 4-hole there, and I had a little bit of a back and forth on Twitter with Spike Eskin about this. The 4-hole was brutal last year. It was a 720 OPS, and that's supposed to be the position that gives you some of the most slug, right? So 720 OPS. I went back and looked at the numbers. That was the lowest in like over 10 years. I think it was, don't quote me on the exact year, 2013 or 2014, and that was Howard that year on his worst year of his career, last year of his career, on his way out, right? Post Achilles injury, Howard. That's what you got from him. So that's where we were last year, and it's been brutal. So we need a guy that can come in here that can slug the ball. We haven't had that in years. So it doesn't have to be Suarez, but let's talk about some more names. So let's get off this one. What else you got for
me? If not Suarez, a name, what do you guys think about Torres? And instead of, because here's the other option, we don't have to go out and sign a 4-hole hitter. We can move Schwarber down to the 4-hole. Harper can bat third, and we can find a 2-hole hitter. Right? So
that's a nice solution.
So that's kind of how I would look at that. And a name that makes sense to me, if we got to increase it an extra $7 million off a deal with Buxton, then we can sign a dude like Torres, because now we don't have Stott. And I do like Torres way more than I like Sosa every day at second base.
So we threw Buxton out there. So what are some realistic names that we think we're going to get? We don't have to hit the exact day here.
Oh, I said Joe Adell, Tyler Ward.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. So what are some
other? They're trade targets too, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're trade targets.
Yeah.
So who are the free agents that are out there that we think we can get?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You know,
Phillies are going to be diving into the bullpen free agent market. Maybe a back end starter.
Okay, so
I don't think they're going to be going to position players for free agents.
No?
No. Not that they're going to start anyway.
You don't think they're going to sign one position player?
Not for a starter.
All right. I'll bet you a chug on that. All right.
Chug? Well, you tell me, brother.
Yeah, so let's bet a chug on that.
All right.
I think they're going to sign one position player that's going to be a starter.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Hey, it's a good bet. It's a good bet.
So
name him.
I just told you his name.
Suarez.
Okay. The thing I don't like about the Suarez is that there's moving parts behind it, right? It's not quite a plug and play because of the Bohm situation. So we would probably have to trade Bohm if that were to happen. Which I don't know how easy that's going to be.
Right, because we have all these players that we want the Phillies to trade, and we just won't get the same value back. Stott's a guy that we can get value on, and if we're getting a really good player back, the money kind of makes sense. So to me, Ranger Suarez is the ball. I mean, so is Kyle Schwarber, but once you bring those two back, that's it. That's a lot of money invested. I still think there's a third option out there, but I think that third option is in the trade market.
Bones answered that, makes it very easy. He doesn't think we're signing any huge names free agency as far as position players goes. So we're going to acquire them trade market, which, by the way, is not the craziest thing. Slim, you're saying you do think that we could potentially sign a guy. You're just not sure exactly what tier he's going to come in at.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. I mean, absolutely, we could absolutely sign a guy. I like the idea, and I think it's going to happen. Bringing back Schwarber, bringing back Suarez as well.
Do we talk about Pete Alonso yet?
No.
What about Pete Alonso? You think he's going back to the Mets?
I think he's going back to the Mets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea a season ago. I don't think he has the flexibility. We're going to stay with the guy that we know.
Okay. All right. So final thing here, those two Japanese players that are getting thrown out there, they're Murakami and Okamoto. A lot of them are grading them as first baseman / third baseman, most likely a first baseman in the big leagues. What are you guys thinking? Any chance at all that we take a flyer there?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they'll be in the market. I mean, the last couple that came over,
Yeah.
they were in the market. They just didn't come to Philly. Even with more money, they didn't come here.
All right. So before we move on to the pitchers, any other names we want to throw out there? So we heard the Wards, we heard the Adeles. There's been a little bit of Nolan Arenado love getting thrown out there with as far as trade partners with Castellanos. I've been seeing those rumors. The latest and greatest thing on the Castellanos is basically Dave's all but saying we're trading him or he's not going to be here, I should say, right?
Yeah.
So Dave basically all but said that. That sometimes a change of scenery is for the better, right? I mean, that's about as close as it gets. But what do you think about that?
I was all in on Arenado, getting Arenado last year, him and Ryan Helsley for Alec Boehm when we had the whole crybaby thing going.
Yeah.
But nah, not this year. Seeing he was a year older, got hurt more, just doesn't have it doesn't have the pop no more. Shame.
I'm with Bones. I'm 100% with Bones.
Yeah, but the value would. I'm saying like if there was a situation where we could trade Castellanos for Arenado and have some type of eating of money swappage, you don't think there's value there?
Right. So you're saying it's one way to get off Castellanos.
Yeah.
They're trying to get off his huge. So basically, we found somebody who has a bigger deal than Castellanos that can help us get off his deal.
Right.
In that situation, oh man, yeah, that man. I say no. I'm still out.
Okay.
I'm still out.
Yeah, why not? If you're putting
Right.
it that way, and then we can find a trade partner for Boom.
Right.
I mean, he's putting up the same power numbers as Boom is.
And that's the counter to it, right? Because you're putting him in a position where you want a little bit more pop, where we haven't been getting pop, and we're not getting a lot of pop back either. So
Right.
it's not a perfect solution. But it's something that's better than nothing kind of scenario. If there was one group, I'm going to call it bucket or one position group, whatever you want to say, area on the team that we need to improve the most. Is it the outfield? Is it corner infield? Is it pitching, relief pitching? You get the gist. I need you to give me one answer, and I'm looking at you, Bones. What would you say?
The outfield group.
Okay.
The outfield group has been the worst thing that we had in the last 3-4 years.
We haven't a good outfield in 15 years.
Yeah. But especially from the center field standpoint,
yeah.
like we're talking bottom of the barrel here the last couple of years, where we had to go out and get a Harrison Bader who wasn't the sexy move
Right.
that everybody wanted, and we weren't expecting to get what we got from him, but because we were scraping the barrel so low that was awesome, and everybody wants him back because of it.
Yeah.
It's 100% the outfield, not just center field, but left field. You mentioned Harrison Bader being the random guy. Look who we were throwing out there in left field last year. We had Kepler, and we even tried to work out Sosa out there. a lot of solutions. If we end up we're so overly committed to the Turner shortstop thing. What does that? How do we get him into the outfield? Because that can help so much. Is it stock going over to short? I don't think so. Even though I think could be there, he'd be awesome there.
That's a good call.
And then same thing with what is Miller going to look like? If he could play second base, I don't know, but I don't see any solutions for this outfield. And we don't have anybody out there. We have no left fielder right now. And we have no center fielder right now. And our right fielder, we're going to pay $15-20 million to let him play in Miami or something.
So I was going back and forth with friend of the show, Johnny Baseball, Johnny Hunter, about Justin Crawford. Right? So if you dig in a little bit, his advanced numbers were not good at center field in the minor leagues. But then if you kind of look at his raw talent, he's fast as hell, and he's got a really good arm. Do you guys think that he can grow into center field, and you have the confidence of just trying him out there because of everything you just said? It's been as bad as it gets anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
Kind of where I'm at.
And I said it last year. I don't care about these advanced. Are you talking about like hitting wise advanced numbers?
No, defense.
Oh,
So he was one of the worst defensive advanced stats wise. He was one of the worst in minor leagues.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I know
for center field specifically.
Because I know like they were always talking about like his ground ball rate.
Yep.
Down the minors hitting, but when you look at it, it's like the advanced numbers. He wouldn't be that good like if it was elevated, but everywhere he goes, he's still hitting over 300, and that's all I care about. Until he comes up and proves me wrong, then I'm going to be this guy's a 300 hitter that we haven't seen. We have a guy that's batting 200
right
for the last 5 years out there.
Yeah, if he comes up and he's not as good as on defense as, let's say, a Rojas, and he's batting a little bit better than, let's say, a Rojas, then how are we going to feel? You know, you guys, I don't think we got to get caught up on the center field thing. Why can't he play left field for now?
Because his skill set grades better for center field, right? Because if you're putting him in the corner, and by the way, he can play left field, but I'm saying the counter to that is his skill set, right? A guy who can steal bases, who doesn't have plus power, who has speed. You want him to be in center so you can keep the corner outfields for guys that have power.
Have power. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Because if you put him in left and then you put someone else in center, theoretically, both of those guys are probably not going to have high power, right?
Slim has him traded, baby.
Right, you have him playing for the Diamondbacks, right?
Diamondback, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Biting us in October.
My final question, and then we're really going to wrap it up. This is non-baseball. So, what one food? I'm going to tell you mine. Grosses you out that a lot of people really like.
Oh,
and mine is egg salad.
oh
egg salad
brutal.
sandwiches. A lot of people love them. I cannot stand them. Who wants to go first here?
I'll go first. I'll say it. Believe it or not, I hate sandwiches. And what I mean is I hate cold cuts, right? I don't like any kind of lunch meat whatsoever.
Oh, lunch meat sandwiches.
So
Right.
any kind of lunch meat, I'm out on. A lunch meat sandwich, I'm absolutely out on.
Corn.
Corn grosses you out.
Yeah.
Corn grosses you out.
especially cream corn.
Okay.
I love cream corn.
What about corn on the cob?
Corn. I don't eat corn.
Okay, that's the right answer. I was hoping you said that because I was gonna say that's pretty contradictory.
No, I don't eat corn.
Corn grosses you out.
No, cream corn grosses me out.
Okay.
I don't eat corn, but like my kids will eat cream. Like I'll have cream corn.
Yeah.
And I'll be putting that like washing, and it will get on my hands, and I like freak out because I feel like it's still like on my hands, no matter what if I get it off. It's disgusting.
That's a good answer. Do you guys like egg salad?
No,
Yes.
absolutely not.
So you like egg salad, right? You don't, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's a common thing. So what sparked this is my wife, who you guys know is Puerto Rican from Puerto Rico. Her big thing, because around Thanksgiving, is the gelatin cranberry sauce that comes in the can, right? I love that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I understand why someone would think that's gross, right?
Right.
So that's why I asked the question, because you can kind of – do you guys like that?
Yes.
Yeah, see? But she's like, what the heck is this?
So funny thing about egg salad, loved it for a while, hated it for a little bit. Now I'm back to loving it again. I don't know why.
Back on the egg salad kick?
Yeah.
When did you start liking it again?
I don't know. I don't know if I like had like a bad outing with it one time,
Yeah.
and then I just after a while I was like, let me give it a try again, and then boom, Liked it again.
I used to love sour cream and onion chips, and I don't know if it's because teaching and watching the kids eat them in the morning or what. I can't even look at a bag of sour cream and onion chips now.
Leave it to the kids to
Cool Ranch Doritos.
You hate them or love them?
Yeah, I can't eat them.
not anymore.
We got a
No,
whole list.
Ever.
another
Dude,
one
I
had
haven't
like a
ate
bad
Doritos
batch. I don't
in a
know what it
long
was.
time.
Got sick.
Yeah, taste buds
Tried them
change.
again. Got
Oh, they
sick
definitely
again.
do. All right, guys. On that note, on the egg salad note, let's transition. I should have said this earlier, but if you are still here, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, please. You know it helps. We will be following up all offseason with some more. We're building on what we talked about today. Go Phils, and we'll see you soon, boys.